Hello, friends. Jonah here to say thanks for checking out the pilot episode of Guardians of Greenwood, a new series for Quest Company Jr. This series, much like Postcards from Pearl, will be a mostly one-on-one campaign with Andrew and I playing Tiny Dungeons 2nd Edition from Gallant Knight Games. Make sure you listen to the announcements at the end of this episode for everything you'll need to know about Quest Company Jr. as a whole, information about where we'll be posting the episodes that come out after the pilot, and details about the awesome giveaway we're doing over on Twitter to celebrate the podcast launch. Thank you again for listening, and we hope you enjoy Guardians of Greenwood. We're on the outskirts of Creekside Village, a small community that's popped up around the remains of Creekside Chapel. A small river, the Thistle Run, flows by the chapel, lazily moving along. The chapel's old, much older than the surrounding village, and it dwarfs the buildings that have been constructed around it. This ancient structure that may have at one point been on the verge of collapse has had new life breathed into it in the generations since the woodfolk moved in. All sorts of creatures are going about their business, and mice, squirrels, and other various woodland critters greeting each other as they walk along the dirt and gravel paths that make up the village streets. We move away from the side of the village, making our way upstream, moving west along the Thistle Run into a slightly deeper part of the Greenwood. In a secluded area outside of Creekside Village, we come to the home and smithy of one Hector, the lone badger in the vicinity of Creekside. Andrew.
Hi.
Please describe Hector and his home to me and to our listeners.
Hector's a good, thick boy. Yeah, no, he's badger big, which in Redwall world is pretty big as you go with like the rodent races.
He's definitely the biggest dude in town or around town.
Yeah,
by far.
I mean, like, is not necessarily in comparison to like other critters, but like. He's a badger. Badgers is bigs. Don't know why I'm apparently drunk right now.
He's not a hedgehog, so I don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, he's black and white striped, not like zebra, but, typical badger. And he's the kind of the town blacksmith that lives outside of the town. Not too far, I assume.
Just a little ways up the creek and up the road, yeah.
His home is a fairly simple abode. It's right on the creek, the river. There's a nice little water wheel that helps turn some of the stuff in the smithy. Nice access to the water right there. There's like a little outdoor smithing area with like the actual smith and anvil and tools and stuff. And then there's attached to that his actual kind of small little cottage. But yeah, he's got green eyes. He's like a young adult. Yeah, that's Hector. A strapping lad. Can oft be found smashing metal with hammer.
And in his home he has a banner hanging up, is that correct? Tell me about that.
Yes. Whenever he was found by one Gumble, who often is called Grumble.
Well, he's a mole after all, that's only about right.
Yes, he grumbles. He was found as an infant in a green and gold like military standard or banner. It's not much, like most of it is torn away, but he just has that like hanging up in the actual like outdoor blacksmithy area.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's Hector. He's a quiet soul, which works great for a podcast.
It's really good. Really good audio.
Yeah, really good. A gentle giant.
And so what's like a typical day for Hector? He doesn't go into town much. He mostly stays at home.
Probably mostly staying at home and working on like the day-to-day activity of like gather enough water and make sure that you like go pick good berries and have those good berries to eat. Or like fishing. Trying to remember like the rules of Redwall.
Yeah, fish aren't sentient. That's fine.
Yeah, they don't count, right? This is vegetarian rules, right?
Yeah.
Badgers need meat, bugs. Yeah, that's yeah. But like gathering food and like water is the typical like day to day, and then like working on projects from the town. So like if the field mouse family has like a plow break. He might be like, I'm going to fix their plow for him. In return, they might be like, here's some grain,
Yeah.
I'm assuming he probably doesn't charge the people in town really, like, money.
No, I mean, like, in town, it's probably mostly, like, a sort of barter system kind of thing. You all help each other out. But yeah, so it's one afternoon, and you are at your smithy. The past couple of days, you've been working on something. Actually, for Adam Fieldmouse.
Yes.
He did, in fact, have some farming tools that he had needed you to, take care of. He had a couple things break on him. So you had finished up an order for him, and now, what are you working on now? It's like personal project, general business, like...
Out of curiosity.
Yeah.
Does Gumble like to drink?
Does Gumble?
Yeah.
Oh, look, he spends a lot of time with Barble, who is the hedgehog.
Yo, Gumble and Barble.
Yeah.
What a great duo.
Barble runs the Crooked Quill, which is, I guess the baseline of what you could call a tavern here in town.
Yeah.
But yeah, he hangs out over there a lot, and he's good friends with Barble. You're actually friends with Barble's son as well.
Okay, good. Barble's son being...
Yeah, Barnabas.
Narble. Barnabas. Love it.
Yeah. He's about your age, and, since Gumble took you in and he
old Barney
was around Barble a lot, you spent a good amount of time with old Barney.
Oh, God.
Barnabas.
It's already like...
Wait, first there's Gumble.
And then there's Barble.
Wonderful. Cool. Then I'm probably maybe like working on like some new like metal tankards for the tavern just as a gift.
Great.
Yeah. Making cups. I'm making cups, baby. What's good?
Nice. But yeah, so this afternoon you're working on these tankards, these cups for Barble. His birthday's coming up. But you remember that you finished up this order for Adam Fieldmouse. He was supposed to come pick up this equipment from you yesterday, but you haven't seen him.
Oh, no. My DM brain. Okay. Well, then, when I kind of get to a stopping spot with the cups, nice cups, by the way. I'm talking like tankards.
Tell you what, go ahead
Handles.
and just for funsies, go ahead and give me a test for your blacksmithing.
Do I make those with advantage with the blacksmith
I
feat?
feel like you probably do because you've got the blacksmith trait.
Let me just look at it real fast. I mean, it is cups. You can make the call, but I was just curious.
Right. For those of you who might not have noticed somehow by yet, we are playing Tiny Dungeon from Gallant Knight Games. It's a different system than what you might be used to if you're used to like D&D or PBTA type stuff. Basically, it's runs on Tiny D6 system, which boils down to if you're making a test, you roll 2d6, and if one of them is either a 5 or a 6, it's a success. If you roll with advantage, you roll 3d6. If you roll with disadvantage, you roll 1d6. But one of the traits that Andrew chose at character creation was Blacksmith.
Boom. Which as written is once a day when you make a test to like fix something. You can have advantage on it. Mm-hmm. Do we just want to say have advantage because it's cups?
I think it's cups and you have advantage on it.
I was just curious.
I think that's fair.
It's very much a feat that was made for
like fix your armor. Fix your weapon.
Actually just being a blacksmith all the time.
Right.
Being an adventurer that also knows how to blacksmith.
Right.
Yeah. No. 2 1s and a 2.
Oh, man. It's not your best work so far, and I think it's probably because you're, like, preoccupied with, like, why... where's Adam Fieldmouse? He was supposed to be here yesterday, and you know that Adam Fieldmouse is someone who is, like, very, very much on time and, on top of things. He's up with the sun and everything, and it's really weird that he didn't come when you had, discussed yesterday.
Oh, Adam.
And then it's now a little bit later in the day today.
Okay. Then fed up with these cups because maybe it's also just like big hands trying to make small.
Yeah,
it's my own actual issues in life with crafting small things. I'm just gonna set the cups down, make sure the forging is in a place where it's not gonna burn the house down.
Yeah, as you always do.
It's kind of a slow process, and then I'm just gonna like swallow my own like social anxieties and go make my way towards the field house. Not thinking anything of it, but just being like, I should probably take this to him.
Gotcha. Are you taking the stuff to him then?
Yeah, I'm going to take the stuff to him.
Okay. What all were you working on for him? Like a plow?
Probably a plow.
Yeah.
I feel like that breaks a lot. And I don't know, just maybe some garden tools.
Yeah, I think so. He could have gotten you to make a couple new things while he was getting the plow fixed anyway.
He needs a new shovel, like a flat one instead of a spade. I don't know.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, totally. So I think that you probably have like a cart that you haul stuff around in. You are a big old badger after all.
I have a cart. I have a rickshaw.
Yeah, the kind. Well, you know how like in the Redwall books, how Constance is like,
Yeah.
oh, I'll pull the cart along.
Yes.
Like you got
Puts all the kids in the back, and then it's like, I'll pull the cart.
Yeah,
It's a big, strong boy.
yeah. I think that you hoist the plow and the other farming implements up into the cart, and then you make your way into Creekside Village. The field mouse residence and, their little bit of farm that they've got is over on the east side. So you'll just make your way through town
Love it.
along the way.
Doing it. Trying to actively maybe not talk to like a bunch of people, just kind of like trying to do the job and go back home.
Yeah, so as you're making your way through Creekside, it's a little bit later in the afternoon right now. It's not into the evening by any means, but, things are kind of winding down. Maybe there's a little less people going about their business. There's a few folks that catch your eye along the way. There's, a couple of, these little squirrel children that are running around, and you actually see from the general store, you see Farn the shrew who kind of waves at you.
I wave gingerly back. Just like avoid contact, like not like I can't talk with people, but just like I acknowledge you. I'm not being rude, but I'm going.
Yeah. I don't think he thinks anything of it. He wasn't like trying to flag you down or anything.
Okay. It was just the gentle like, hi.
Yeah, you wave at a few folks here and there, and nobody really, stops you along the way. And
Nice.
you make your way to the field mouse residence. You see, it's a very humble sort of glorified hut. All of the buildings that are in this village, none of them are fancy by any means, because it's just a small village that's popped up around this one. Not even a big chapel by any means. It was.
Is it fairly new? Out of has it been here my entire lifespan?
The field mouse residence?
Well,
Or
no,
just
I
like
just
the
meant
village?
the village in general.
Yeah, the village has been here pretty much your entire life. As long as you've known, you've lived in Creekside.
Cool.
You grew up with Gumble. When you got old enough to kind of do your own thing,
Not live with Gumble.
you always ate well when you were living with Gumble.
I'm not dissing Gumble.
And you, unlike a
Probably
lot
had
of
a
other...
smaller house.
Yeah, I mean, it was very much like... It's really like half a level above ground and like half below.
Yeah.
But you always ate well for certain. And I will say, since you grew up with him, you understand moles better than most.
Rock on.
But yeah, so growing up in Creekside, you would know that it was actually founded a few generations back, originally by a squirrel family, of which Mother Gardenia, who currently runs Creekside Chapel, she is the descendant of that family directly. So it was originally sort of founded with them, and then other critters of all sorts kind of made their way here, and so now it's a little bit more of a melting pot with mice, hedgehogs, moles, all that good stuff.
Cool.
So you make your way the rest of the way across town, and you find yourself at the residence of the field mouses.
It is on fire. There are wraiths murdering mice. I'm going to pee on myself if you come back in and you're like, it's on fire.
It's not on fire.
It's burnt to the ground.
There's nothing left. But you find your way there, and it is not burned to the ground or anything. Fun thing about the field mouse residents, you actually help them build their house.
Sweet.
They have not always lived here. Adam and Isabel Fieldmouse moved here a few years back with their kids, and you helped them, construct a new home for themselves. And they live over here on the eastern side of the village, and they, do business. As we said, it's mostly sort of, bartering, trading things. They raise, grains and other things like that. So you have had a good working relationship with them for a while, but you make your way over there, and as you approach, she seems very quiet.
Oh, that's so cryptic. Do I see any... Do they have kids?
Yeah, they do have two kids. Maggie and Nicholas are their two children. They're little mice. But you do not see either of them out and about. And knowing what time of day it is. Like, normally at this time, like, you would probably see, like, smoke coming from the chimney because Isabel was, like, working on dinner, and, you know, the kids might be playing outside or helping their dad, or Adam might be in the process of putting things away for the day, but you do not see any of them.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna just wheel the cart up to the front door and knock on the door.
All right, you give the door a knock. No answer.
Okay. Social anxiety is going to force me to knock on the door one more time and wait.
You wait a little longer, and there's still no answer to the door.
Okay. Am I on the terms with this family? Like, am I on good enough terms that, like, opening a door is probably not going to be, like, super strange?
I think so. I mean, because most of the folks in this village are pretty tight with each other. You do this a lot less than other folks who live around here. Like, there's a lot of visiting back and forth and people going over for meals and things. And growing up with, you know, Gumble, you certainly did a good amount of that. But in the meantime, you have become more of a bit of a recluse over at your smithy and everything. I don't think that you would be remiss to try to go in there and see what they're up to, you know.
Okay, well, then I'm going to open the door and check on them because this feels very uncharacteristic, and I already feel very, like Andrew thinks several things right now. But I think Hector is starting to get to that point where I'm like, this is not, something seems up.
You open up the door, and it is not locked. And as you open it up, it appears as though the place has been ransacked. It looks like the whole place has been turned over. Looks like there are definitely... You don't even have to, like, roll a test to see this. Looks like there were signs of a struggle here.
Okay.
And the whole place is just an absolute mess.
Okay. Is there, like, blood? Any mice that are hiding? Can I look for, like, little kids hiding?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a test.
Is that 2? Do I make this with 2?
Yes, standard test is with 2.
Okay, I just don't remember. Nope, 2 2s.
You do not see any mice anywhere in the vicinity.
Okay, no little kids.
You looked around and there is, like, a little bit of blood. It's not like, oh, somebody just got, you know, drained here.
Yeah, no, there's not like gore.
Yeah, it's not gory by any means, but there is a little bit of blood and the signs of a struggle and everything, but you do not see any signs of any mice that are still here. No.
Okay. This seems not like something the field mouse family is like, this is what we want to do on a weekend. But can I go out, like I don't see anyone inside the house.
Correct.
Do I see anything that, like, I would notably know belongs to them that is missing? Like, if, like, I walked up to my smithy and the anvil was gone, I'd be like, oh, without, like, looking, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that it definitely seems as though any items of worth, like, you know, a nice vase that Isabel has or things like that, any types of those things have been taken from here.
Cool.
Yeah.
Not cool, but cool. Got it.
Right. Cool understood.
Yeah. So I'm going to head out the front door, moving at more of a pace now, and just, I guess, scan the area and see if there's anything that I can see, like, this might be a location that somebody was taken, or I mean, does it look like somebody was taken out of the house?
Yeah, so actually, as you look around, you do notice very easily that the back door is, like, ajar.
Okay.
And it seems like whoever it was might have gone out that way, and the back door is facing more away from Creekside.
Okay, more towards into the forest?
Right, more toward the wilder parts of the Greenwood, yes.
Okay, cool. Question for you, DM.
Yes.
Do you think I would have brought my hammer with me?
I don't know that you would have, because you were just here to make a delivery.
To deliver?
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't take that long to go back and forth from there. It's not like it's going to take you the better part of a day to go and get your hammer and come back.
I'm starting to worry about time. Like, yes. In a guesstimate, would I know, like, it's going to take me 15 minutes to go back and come back here?
I think it'd take you like 25, 30 to go back to your place and, like, get your hammer and come back. Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. First tough choice. Do I notice anything first looking out the back door and, like, just on the, like, in the periphery? In D&D terms, if I was a ranger, like, tracking people. I don't think this is anything that Hector knows how to do or is necessarily good at. But just like, is there anything that can give me like an idea of like numbers or anything really?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a test then.
Just at disadvantage?
I don't think it's a disadvantage. I think that you can still... I mean, you're an animal. You're a badger. You can still, I think that there's a baseline level of like, we can look around and,
I did get a 5.
Yeah.
Right? You only need 1 5?
Correct.
Or
Yeah,
6?
yeah. You only need either or, a 5 or a 6 on either die that you
For
roll.
everyone listening, this is my first time playing this game, so...
Yeah, it's new.
It is new. It is a little foreign to me.
It's new. I'm
excited.
We've got this sweet rule book that Alan from Gallant Knight Games sent us. And
Alan, who's super awesome.
So freaking cool, and everybody should go check out Gallant Knight Games.
Yeah.
Because, man, I love this book.
And support their stuff, because, like, they support us, and their stuff is awesome.
Heck yeah.
Friends doing friend stuff.
Do-do-do.
Anyway, back to the game.
back to the game. So, with your 5 that you rolled, you do see some tracks that lead out of the house and towards the woods. You see tracks that look like they are the size of the footprints of all of the field mouse family, sometimes being dragged, sometimes walking. It kind of varies as it moves along through the field some. But then you also see some other larger tracks. Looks to be maybe 4 or 5 larger creatures. I'll say that with your successful roll, it looks like 5, and they are definitely larger, and they look more like vermin than townsfolk.
Okay.
The sort of normal footprints that you'd see just up and down the road on any given day.
Cool. This to me immediately is... I'm trying to decide real fast, Jonah. Give me a second.
You're good.
Yeah, gotta do it. I'm gonna leave the cart at their house and just, as fast as I can, make my way back to my house to get my smithing hammer. Literally just something to defend myself with.
Okay, you do. You run back there, and it's going to take you the better part of, 20, closer to 30 minutes. You're running through town, and I think that on the way back to your home, that some people give you kind of weird looks, especially ones that might have seen you earlier, like, where's his cart? What's he doing? You run that way, you go home, and you grab your big smithing hammer, and you're running back through town, and I think that you do get stopped on your way back through town, as Farn, the shrew shopkeeper, actually comes up to you. He's like, hey, what's going on? What are you running through town with a hammer for? What's going on?
I think something...
something wrong?
I think something happened to the field mouse
The
family.
field mouse?
They're not in their home, and it looks like they were dragged away. So I'm gonna go make sure they're okay.
Do you want us to round up a search party? What, did it look like they'd been gone for a while? What's...
I don't know. Adam was supposed to come to get his plow and some of his tools yesterday, and he never showed up. And so I went to deliver him today, and they're not there. And it looks like they were drug into the forest by some sort of vermin or something. So you can gather people, but I'm going to go right now. I'm going to take off. I mean, I tell him, like, that he can form the search party if he wants, but I'm going now.
Great, yeah.
And I'm going to go.
All right, so Farn shouts out after. He's like, I'll round some people up and I'll send them your way. As you just sprint back toward the direction of the field mouse house and farm. As you go back that way, what do you want to do once you get there?
Is the cart still there?
The cart is still there when you get back, yeah.
Okay. That confirms something that I thought. Then I'm just going to pick up their tracks and start following the tracks that I found earlier. Mm-hmm. I think from what we've kind of talked about with Adam and their family, they're probably the people that would use a blacksmithing service the most in the town. So of anyone, I'm probably, like, closest with them already.
Yeah, I think so.
Except for good old Grumbles.
Right.
Right, talk about good old Gumbles.
Good old Papa Gumble. So I just want to make sure they're okay.
Absolutely. So you start following these tracks and going deeper and deeper into the woods as you go. What kind of pace are you moving at? And also, did you bring, like, torch and stuff or anything with you? It's getting closer to nighttime now as you're going on this search. And are you leaving anything, like, behind as you're going, or are you just barreling straight ahead?
I'm going to tell you right now, Andrew didn't think to pick up a torch.
Yeah.
I don't think Hector did either. I think it was... I feel so bad about taking the time to go get something to protect myself that I don't think, like, whatever speed he can travel at, he's traveling at. So, like, whatever the fastest speed is, we're going. I'm going to try and get them back before nightfall.
All right.
That may be a hopeless endeavor, but I don't think he's thinking that. I don't think I'm thinking that far ahead. I think it's save them, and that's it, as far as, like, what we're thinking of.
Absolutely. So you make your way deeper and deeper into the Greenwood. You are following these tracks and doing a pretty good job as you move along. And you keep going, and you keep going, and the next couple of hours pass. And as you're, going over logs and through trees and around, you pass the creek bend every now and then as you keep on your way. And as night is beginning to fall, you have still not found them. You're still on the trail, but you've not caught up with them, and it is close to nightfall. So how would you like to proceed?
Recklessly. For the listener, some information about Hector. I don't think he's like a fighter by trade in any way. I think he's a blacksmith, right? Like, that's what he does. I mean, he has a very strong belief in, like, doing good, and, like, good will come to you. So I think he genuinely just wants to see the Field Mouse family protected, and I think that's the only thing on his mind. So even though it's getting dark, I'm going to continue at as fast as I can travel on this thing, whatever may happen. One episode. That's all you get. You should know better, Jonah. Never put a family in danger when I'm playing a paladin. An obvious paladin.
Why do you think this was the first thing I made you do?
I know. I did assume that it was going to be on fire, though. Wouldn't have really tracked with time, but, like, I had just assumed that they were going to be like, we're dying. And I was going to be like, no. I didn't bring my hammer. I can't help them.
Go ahead. And roll a test for me. At disadvantage now.
Yeah, heck
as the darkness sets in the Greenwood.
6.
Ooh. Ooh, buddy.
Yes.
Ooh, buddy.
Thank you, Clutch. Your new name is Clutch. You shall be separate.
Through the darkness, you continue making your way through the Greenwood. You follow the tracks. It's not as hard as it might be if it were a stealthier single creature, but with there being a total of what looks like 8 or 9 creatures, taking into account the field mouse family and whoever took them, the tracks are messy, and you're able to pretty well see the snapped branches and footsteps in the mud.
My time living with a mole helping my non-dark vision self.
Right. You lived halfway underground growing up, just because
Because that's how Gumble does it, sir.
That's how Gumble does it. Good old Gumble.
So you're a little bit more accustomed to the darkness than your average woodfolk might be, and you continue through the woods, tracking and going through the night, and you at no point do you lose the trail. You are able to continue tracking successfully. Do you go all the way through the night?
Oh, shoot. I don't know how this game works. Is there exhaustion?
I'd say...
Or, variations of exhaustion?
Not that I know of right offhand. I will say that, if you go for, a crazy long time, if you don't take any time to rest next day, too, if you sprint for days, we'll impose some sort of penalty. But I think that for right now, I'd say that you are probably kind of exhausted. It's been a long night for sure, because you've been going at a pretty quick pace with your successful tracking, so it's up to you.
This is a reaching question.
Okay.
I will freely admit it as a player. Do any of these tracks, do the tracks that I'm at currently look much fresher than they did earlier on? Does it feel like I'm getting closer? Or is it you can't tell? It's dark.
I think that since you managed to roll a 6 with disadvantage, I will give you that it does seem like you are gaining on the tracks. With the pace that you are able to move throughout the night, it definitely seems as though you have been making progress. It doesn't seem like they were left here, they've only been here for an hour or anything, but you're catching up.
I'm going to push for maybe like an hour, 2 hours more, and then maybe just try and take like just a shorter catch my breath, sort of like compose and then keep going sort of thing.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's like push for like 2 more hours.
You push for 2 more hours after sunrise, or
is it at sunrise right now?
it's getting pretty close to sunrise. Now, like, you can see the light on the horizon as you look above the tree line and everything.
Maybe
the
like
sun is not up yet.
Maybe like an hour after sunrise. That way I can just like get a better view of tracks for a little bit longer and just, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, absolutely.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
All right, so you continue a little ways longer. Again, you feel like you're still gaining on these tracks at whatever pace that might be, and you do, as the sun begins to rise, you sit down for a little bit, you compose yourself. You don't have any food on you. I don't know. So there's no reason that you would have.
No, I do not have any food on me. I would not have grabbed any.
You know, no food, no like bedroll or anything. Just you and a hammer.
Yup.
So what do you do for this like hour that you sort of take a little bit of a rest to compose yourself? Do you actually like try to take a power nap? Are you looking around for like it's just some berries and stuff in the area, something to sustain yourself as you keep going? What are you thinking?
Probably a little bit of foraging and then just resting. Maybe not like napping, but just like taking a bit of time off the feet for a second.
Okay.
And like making sure that I'm still on the track and like everything is still a thing. I feel guilty about taking this hour. I already took an hour for a dang hammer.
You took like under 30 minutes for a hammer.
I'm calling it an hour. Andrew feels very guilty about the hammer. Had you not said 5, I would have gone without the hammer. I was like, if I go without the hammer, though, it's literally going to be a 1 episode. This is going to be a one-off.
He's dead. So you take the hour and you do a little bit of foraging. Go ahead and just give me a little roll for foraging.
3 and a 4.
So it's pretty scarce. You know, there's a few berries and things here and there, but there's not a ton of really good edible vegetation. You manage to get a little bit, but you're still pretty hungry. After just running throughout the night, you skip dinner because you were on this whole thing. But you do take a little while to rest and compose yourself before moving forward. And with the morning sun a little further in the sky, you want to continue on your way, tracking?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Give me a test to continue tracking.
5 and a 6.
You spend the better part of half a day tracking.
God.
As you get closer and closer, and the sun is about halfway up in the sky. And as you continue, you can see way, way off in the distance what seems like it might be a clearing of some sort. It's kind of hard to tell, but you can see a little bit of movement up ahead. And you hear faint voices like...
Oh, they sound like dirty rap. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That's like... pretty far off right now.
It's pretty far off with your survival. You've gotten far enough and you've tracked it well enough, and then you can see off in the distance, especially with the day being as bright as it is now in the middle part of the day. It seems like they are moving at a pace in front of you.
I'm gonna catch up within reason and then just try and get a read on the situation. Like I want to be able to tell like, are the field mouse just hanging out with really large relatives this far in the woods? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't think that's the thing, but I don't want to like just like
assume.
I'm also not like he is not a warrior by trade. So like I don't think this is like I'm gonna go rushing in and just start beating things with this hammer, right? I just got the hammer because it was something to like be less afraid of things with. Right.
It's a big, hefty thing you do work with. So you're like, I guess I can hit something with this if I need to. I don't know.
So I just want to like get within like range of like kind of sight on it and seeing if what's going on and if it's okay or if they are in peril, which I am inclined to believe they are.
Mm-hmm. Give me a test to do some stealth then. As you approach, you catch up to this group.
That's a 1 and 2.
A 1 and a 2.
Did you think I was going to be stealthy? Nah.
With a 1 and a 2, you approach, You get closer and closer, and you can see more shapes as you continue to make your way, just trucking forward. At this point, you're somewhat concerned about stealth, but way more important than anything else is the safety of the field mouse family. And you continue on your way, moving forward. And as you get within proximity of them, you step on a big old branch, and it breaks under you.
Seems very logical. I probably don't even hear it.
What you do hear, though...
Rockfang, you hear that? Go check it out.
Then you see...
Do they also hear me, like, panting, like...
Yeah, they're, like, looking in your direction. You're kind of obscured by the trees and stuff right now.
So I am, like, slightly attempting to sneak right now.
Yeah, you're slightly attempting to, but, like, they definitely are aware of your presence. They heard you.
Yeah.
But you are not, like... If we're talking zones, combat zones, like in the game, you're still, like, way out in far right now, rather than near or close.
But can I can see these kind of gentlemen at this point?
Yes.
Okay. What am I looking at?
As a whole, or just the ones that are, like, coming your way?
Yes, and. Yes, and. I'm going to try and... If this was Powered by the Apocalypse, I want to read a bad situation.
Okay, give me a test, then, to see what all you can see.
Okay.
What your badger eyes can see.
Oh, I am very not focused on certain things right now, apparently. I at least see the field mouse family, and I'm just like, oh, no!
I think that, like, in a clump of rodents... You can see the field mouse family among other critters. You can't get a read on the numbers of either who looks like they might be captives of some sort, as well as their captors. It's hard to tell. It's sort of just a mass in that direction. But what you see more than anything else is that there are 2 rats quickly making their way towards you. Nasty-looking fellas that have curved blades on them and a snarl on their faces as they are running in your direction.
They see me.
They hear you. They're very aware of your presence, and I think that even if they don't have, like, direct line of sight on you, they've got a beat on you, and they're coming your way. I don't think that, like, the other ones that are in the clearing kind of area have actually seen you yet, but everyone here is just aware that there is something out there, and where it is currently.
Has the convoy stopped moving at the presence of whatever this is?
Hard
or, like,
to tell.
It's hard to tell.
Hard to tell.
Cool. That's totally fair. Okay. Based on my own social anxieties, I don't think I'm going to try and talk the situation, but I also think... I, Andrew, know Redwall rules that pretty much all rats are bad.
Right.
Is that kind of similar in this, in what we're doing right now, which is kind of like, these people have gnarly blades. I've seen that they've taken the family. I feel like they is bad.
Yeah, so in this world that we're creating here, I don't want to assume that, like,
correct,
all rats is bad, all foxes is bad, you know, that kind of thing. A little less black and white. There is certainly a stigma on both sides of good and bad creatures.
Cool.
You know, ones that are typically viewed as such. They can definitely go either way. But I think that in your current situation, it would be safe to assume...
that they is bad.
that these boys is bad.
Cool. Then I'm gonna try and blacksmith some rats. I'm just gonna come out of the brush where I am straight at these 2 that are coming at me, and I'm gonna try and go through them as quickly as possible to make my way to the mass of non-people that seem bad.
Roll initiative.
Huzzah! 2d6?
Yes, 2d6 and add them together.
Okay. That's a 9.
9?
For Hector.
All right, so Hector will be going first ahead of our 2 rat fellows. So what would you like to do? They are quickly approaching you. You can definitely close the distance if you wish.
But I'm at far currently, right?
You're currently at far, yes.
Okay, cool.
So what we're doing, basically, listeners, is that how this kind of works in combat is there are different combat zones rather than, like 30 feet of movement or what have you. So there's close, which is like right up on them. Near is sort of general vicinity, and far is further out, basically boils down to if you're using like light weapons that are more close-up stuff, or heavy weapons where you got a little more swinging room, or ranged stuff, things like that. But yes, you are currently far from them.
I want to like move into near, and the closest one, I'm just gonna swing my hammer at it because that is something I know how to do. I feel very inadequate in this situation.
Okay, so you run up as these two are approaching. You just bust up on them, this big, burly badger form coming out of the woods, and you go for the one who, like, he gives you a really crooked grin, and he's got all these nasty, nasty teeth. And you go to hit him with a hammer?
Yup.
Give me an attack test.
With my warhammer. My Blacksmith and Warhammer. This is with 3, right?
Yes, it is with advantage because Warhammer is your mastered weapon that you chose.
Just want to double check.
Yeah.
I got a 5.
A 5? Okay. All right, so roll the damage on that.
Okay. Oh, jeez Louise. So it's 2 damage.
2 damage?
Yeah.
You're not used to swinging a hammer at other living creatures.
Yeah.
So you just sort of take a wild swing, and it hits the torso of this rat. He goes, and stumbles back a little bit and looks unhappy with you. But that is your turn then, because you
moved and attacked.
You have 2 actions that you can use, basically, that you split up between your choice of like evade, focus, test, attack, or move. So you did 1 action to move and 1 action to attack. It is now that rat's turn. Rotfang, as it were.
Ooh, Rotfang. Good rat name. And I'm dead.
No, he crit fails with 2 1s.
Yeah!
So Rotfang goes to pick himself up and swing at you, and just overcommits and face plants in front of you. Is gonna take his other action to get up and do we'll say an evade action after that first attack did not go well at all.
Okay.
Next up, we have got the other one who's got, you can see a bunch of bugs and stuff kind of flying around him, and you see one fly hanging out in his nostril. Yeah, this dude's gross. Flea Nose is going to also take a swipe at you.
Fitting name.
Will hit, so
Okay.
that is going to be, that is 2 points
No.
of damage to you, my friend.
Oh no. That's like a fourth of my health. This game is so weird.
No, we're feeling it out.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be great. I'm totally gonna survive.
And then is also going to take his other action to evade, and just yells out to the rest of the group, "We got a badger!" As you hear the sound of scurrying and movement along the rest of the way.
Love it.
It is now your turn once again.
My turn. Yeah, I'm going to attack the dude that Nat 1'd, that I've already hit, if that's cool.
Okay, cool. Roll to hit.
I did get a 6.
All right, a 6, so he will roll an evade test, which is just with 1d6. Does evade with a 6. Right out of the way.
Cool. I'm just gonna swing at him again with
Right,
my
you
second
continue to
attack.
swing wildly. Yeah, go for it.
Nope.
Nope.
Didn't even have to. Oh, things are going bad for Hector the Badger. Things are getting really bad.
You continue to just swing wildly as you are just totally out of your depth right now.
Yes, very much.
And this rat, as kind of swarmy and lithe that it seems to be, it seems like he's definitely seen more combat than you have in your time. Which is any amount, and is able to duck out of the way of your blows with the hammer. It is then the rat's turn. The one who you just swung at is going to come at you, swinging with a sword again. That's a 2 and a 1, so that's not going to do it. And then we'll also use another turn to evade. And then the second one, Flea Nose, is going to take a swipe at you.
Don't you do it, Fleanose.
That is 2 2s, so Fleanose also misses and takes his second action to evade as well. As they're sort of trying to encircle you, they are very wary as you are a very large creature. You do tower over both of them, and badgers do have a reputation, so they are trying to encircle you and do their best to not get absolutely crushed as they make their attacks at you.
Dang it. Okay, is it my turn now?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to again attack the dude that I already damaged.
Okay, you're going for a Rot Fang.
Yes. That's a 6.
Okay.
That's 1 6.
He does not evade. Only roll a 4.
Please. 2 damage.
2 damage is enough to finish him off.
I don't think Hector notices.
You don't think Hector notices?
I think it is that thing where, like, if you watch a kid who's playing like wiffle ball for the first time, right? And is swinging so wildly that they might hit the ball and keep swinging, right? I think he's swinging, and as soon as he feels that connect, he's going to the other guy. I don't think he even knows where it lands.
Yeah. Yeah, just in the flurry of battle.
Like he feels it connect with something and turns to the other guy.
As this is happening, you've taken a hit. You are in the heat of battle now. Blood has been drawn from both the rats and from you, and your eyes, everything you see, just like is beginning to turn a sort of red. Have you ever felt this sensation before?
Yes, I think so. I think probably as a kid, and growing up in a town where there weren't any badgers, he probably spent a lot of time with good old Gumble talking about like how to deal with anger and not understanding what Gumble's saying. But is probably one of the reasons why he likes the field mouse people so much, because I feel like they seem very chill already. Just Andrew is like, oh, they seem so chill. I would say for certain, though, whatever happened when he was younger with it is probably what led to a lot of him like secluding himself outside of town. And he's probably ruined more than one blacksmithing thing, becoming too mad at something.
Oh, definitely.
And just beating it to hell and back.
It is that sensation.
Am I in it yet, or is it just like creeping?
It's creeping. I think that in this particular situation, like all of this is so new that it is definitely coming up on you, and you can feel it, and you are aware of it's coming to you. Oh no! And you see another rat before you.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna make my second attack at this other rat.
Go for it.
Oh no! A 6 and a 5.
6 and a 5.
Which means nothing, but but he took evade.
But it is a success, so he's going to try to evade. That is a 1.
Please, lots of damage. Oh my god. 2 damage!
2 damage? Okay. Great, so the hammer connects, I think like with sort of around the hip region. This one is just...
Break those hips. Break those hips.
You hear, and as some of the flies are
injuries in sports
thrown off, and the rat comes around, and Fleanose is going to go for another swipe at you with the sword.
I don't like Fleanose. I don't like him.
That's 2 6s.
Oh no.
So Fleanose will crit.
Oh no.
So that's going to be 3 points.
Oh no.
3 points of damage. Basically critting, you just add an extra 1 damage-wise.
That's bad.
Yeah, on a scale like we've got, that's a lot.
That went real bad, real fast.
And is going to take the second action to evade still. Now, very concerned, as Fleanose is keenly aware of the fact that Rotfang is dead on the ground.
I don't think I have any idea.
You don't. But you are now fully in blood wrath.
Oh no. Okay. Are out of curiosity, Andrew, are more rats coming? Is that a thing that's happening, or like I don't know?
I don't think that Hector knows.
Cool beans. Well then, I'm gonna attack the thing closest to me, which happens to be the Fleadum. That's 6 and a 5.
6 and a 5 hits.
Let's see if he evades. Please don't.
Does not evade.
Okay. Finally. That was a 6. So 5 points of damage. As I Gallagher this guy.
This one's bad.
I'm sure.
This one's really bad.
We're going to a dark place, episode 1. Let's go, baby.
Like, it's Redwall. We had to know what we were getting into from
Come
the get-go.
on,
Those are violent.
kids. Episode 1. Here we go.
Questco Junior. More like Questco Teens. It's fine.
Questco Junior? Is it?
What do you do to Fleenos?
Thematically, I think if he sticks me with that sword real hard and it just stays in, right? And if that's what's like causing him to go into like blood wrath, right? Raging, as it were, but he can't get away because there's a sword in me.
Right.
I think it's just like straight down smithing.
Just like an anvil,
Huzzah.
the hammer makes contact with the head of Fleenos.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Andrew's glad. Solve that problem. That was gross.
Hope I kill that fly too.
And as you stand, breath heaving, seeing red, standing over the bodies of Fleenos and Rotfang, maybe more vermin coming your way, maybe retreating with the captives that they have. That's where we'll end this first episode.
No! I have to know if the mouse family's okay.
Hello again, friends. We hope you enjoyed this first episode of Guardians of Greenwood. If you want to continue going on this adventure with us, make sure you check out our website, questcompanyjunior.com, and follow us on Twitter at QuestcoJunior. We will be officially launching a separate Quest Company Junior podcast feed on July 1st, where we'll already have the first couple episodes of this and postcards from Pearl, and then we will be releasing them on a rotating bi-weekly schedule. If you like what you heard here and you want to help us out, please go to the Quest Company page on the Apple Podcasts app or wherever you listen to your podcasts and leave us a rating and review. It's a huge help to us, and we read every review that comes in. And we would especially appreciate that if you do it on the Questco Junior feed as well. If you're a fan of the Quest Company and you want to support us, please consider becoming a Patreon subscriber. You can help us with necessary expenses that come along with creating all of this content and help us continue to improve the quality of the podcast. We have multiple patron tiers available, and every little bit helps. If you'd like to give us that support, you can do so at patreon.com/questcompanypodcast. You can find the links to the Patreon and all of our social media things on our website, questcompanyjunior.com. If you haven't heard yet, we are holding a contest over on Twitter to celebrate the official launch of Questco Junior. All you have to do is follow us at Questco Junior and like and retweet the contest video. You can win some great prizes like a copy of Tiny Dungeon and a set of Green Jade dice, or a copy of Tiny Dungeon Hatchling Edition and a set of Pegasus Blessing dice. Huge thank you to Gallant Knight Games and Castor and Pollux for being our partners and providing the wonderful prizes for that giveaway. Make sure to enter soon. We'll be announcing the winners on July 1st. I'd like to take a second to thank all the wonderful artists whose music is featured in this episode. Thank you to tabletopaudio.com for providing the ambient sounds. Thank you to Sawsquarenoise for the song Rito Oculto. Thanks to Serge Narcissoff for the song Vikings. And thank you to Joseph Cash for the song Deadly Deer. That's all for me, so we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening to Guardians of Greenwood here on Quest Company Junior.